Alright, you heel hook magnets. So yeah, we're going to discuss the inside position and why our friend Max from Germany was able to heel hook you all. Again, if you're training for 10, 15, 20 years and you don't understand this concept, I promise you, a white belt or a blue belt with good understanding of leg locks will be submitting you pretty often. We'll also talk about how to avoid them and so like a checklist to know if you're really caught and you should be tapping, preemptively tapping, or if you still have time to work. Alright, so it's a little grainy footage. Nick sent me, I asked for Nick for a clip. He sent me a Max one with Alex. So we're going to focus mostly on Alex's legs relative to Max's legs. And basically all these leg lock entanglements, pretty much every leg lock you see at some point, a leg is going to go in between the defender's leg, and then they'll be attached their legs to their hips, and at that point they isolate the leg. So if we can always prevent the guard player from getting inside position between our legs, we will never get leg locks. Alright, so I think this comes on pretty fast. So right there, right off the bat, Alex has a wide base and he just scoots right in. Boom. That's already a problem. So what Alex should think about doing right off the bat is staying off the center line. So right where the sternum is, we draw a line to the legs, and you want to be working to the outside. We either want two legs outside or one leg in if we're in the standing passing scenario. Right here is Kazushi, he off balances them. He's going to scoot in, collect the leg. Alright, so now we're in a butterfly ashi. We got the short hook here, and on the inside we have the long leg going over the hip. Ankle lock grip. Boom, textbook modern ankle lock. He's elbow deep, he's getting onto his shoulder. No choice but to tap. And this is not the pick on Alex again, like this happened to every blue belt tonight. So better to understand it now so we don't get caught later, especially at a tournament. And again, pulse guard right between the legs. And when we see the video of me defending this, you'll notice the difference. And granted, I have the benefit of hindsight here. I got to watch him roll once or twice on the sideline, so I knew what he was up to. But when you watch me approach his guard, I will be on the outside a lot, working camp passing, and if he does get a connection on my leg, I'm fighting the feet immediately. I don't worry about engaging when he's got his feet between the legs. I am just trying to clear his hooks right off the bat or fight his hands. Alright, X guard, backside 50-50, brings the knee to the floor right here. So what Alex wants to do in this situation is try to bring his knee to the other side of the leg. If you can clear the knee to the other side of the leg, there's a good chance he can back step out. And actually he does clear. Nice work, Alex. Snap down, front headlock. So we get back to another leg entanglement. This is my first time watching the video. Alright, again, so here he goes from the outside but hits the inside position, so he brings his knee around and back in, and now he'll bring the right leg over top and connect his ankles. Boom. So now he's in a inside position. Here he can attack the inside heel hook once he gets Alex's feet off the mat. Here he brings him down. And this is also what we're talking about. Okay, so my checklist when I need to complete a heel hook. One, generally you gotta be above the knee line. On most foot locks, leg locks, whatever, you have to be above the knee line. There are certain exceptions to this. The Kyle Terror lock, for example. And every day, there's somebody doing something somewhere that kind of breaks the general rules. But on most leg locks, we want to keep our hips above the defender's knee. The other thing, toes in the armpit. It's kind of like controlling an arm bar. Like we want to control the end of the lever. And here the toes are the end of the lever. He catches the toes in the armpit. And then the wrist will wedge underneath the heel. So we got attachment to the hip. We got our hips attached to the knee. That's going to help with the brake, the counter pressure. And the toes are trapped in the armpit with a wedge of the wrist or forearm underneath the heel. If all those things are in place, and I can't slip my heel to bring my heel past his lat, then I'm in trouble. I should be ready to tap. Here he collects it, wrist underneath the heel. He'll bridge his hips to the knee. Okay. Alright. So right there, yes, that is what we want to do. This time Alex did a good job. He didn't engage right down the middle. Controlled the feet. Went to the outside. Perfect. That's exactly what I'll be doing. And I will spam that. And when I don't like what I see, I'll retreat. Nice job. Side to side. Perfect. Right here, as soon as he connects, I would be either pushing this foot off or dealing with this ankle grip. And then my left hand could just take a C grip on his the back of his ankle here on the top leg and create separation. I might just high step out of here. If I see something, maybe I'll like windshield wiper over this leg to maybe chase the back, because right now his back's exposed on this side. Let's see what happens next. Boom. So same entry he did earlier. This knee comes behind. This leg comes over top. He'll connect his feet in the inside position. Here there's things we can do. Right now it's a shallow bite on the knee. Here I'd be hiding my heel. I don't know if I'll be able to demonstrate in this video, but basically slipping my heel so he can't put his wedge of his wrist underneath it. I can also be doing things like throwing my free leg inside his legs, and then I can look to counter leg lock him. A simple way to go about it would also just be shifting my hips. So imagine if Alex was to shift his hips and basically near his position, Max's position, so they'd be like shoulder to shoulder, their hips facing the same direction, and then he could push the knee, controlling the outside of his leg down, and be able to slip out. And here we're fighting, trying to hand fight. Let's see how this roll Alex just did. That basically exposed his heel even more. So, good job, just like experimenting, trying stuff out. Maybe if he was able to get over top, well, he did get up. Okay. I think that's about the end of the video. We'll do part 2 in a second. Alright, part 2. Alright, so we just did a little guillotine exchange here. And, pick it up from here. Alright, so look at right off the bat. He's playing kind of like a supine guard, meaning he's laying more flat towards the floor. So usually when guys do this, they're trying to get the feet inside the knees. If he can get the feet inside the knees, he has a hook going, he can start reaching for the legs and start pulling his hips in. So immediately I am controlling the feet. I am not letting his toes get inside my knees. Here he inverts, he's got an ankle grip here. Again, controlling those shins, keeping those feet away from me. Oh yeah, here he's telling me he's got a neck injury. Boom. So quick little leg drag, no big setup. Get my ankle, or get my angle. So I'm just gonna go some side to side passing here. A lot of camp passing, meaning I'm getting knee to knee. I'll be putting a hand on the thigh and a hand on the hip, trying to keep them pinned. And my strategy here, often in no-gi, is just go side to side passing, and I'm just trying to wear out the dude's energy. Get him a little bit tired. Not trying to fully pass the guard just yet. Just trying to get a feel for how much energy he has, how aggressive he's going to be, and then once I get him tired, I will start building up the pressure more and more until I feel like I can get a realistic look at passing the guard. Alright, so working the outside, staying off the center line. There I high stepped out. Boom. See that foot on top. Maybe trying to set up that kind of like or a false reap or backside 50-50 setup. And I just high step that foot out. So I'm not afraid to retreat. Rather retreat than engage and get heel hooked. Boom. Still, again, working outside, throwing legs by, getting this angle. Right here, I decide to drop the knee down, give him a little bit of pressure. Again, he's still got that top knee shield in, so still not a great spot. Tries to bring the feet in the middle. Back to controlling the feet, side to side. And again, I'm finding this angle a lot. Get a little bit low, try some low passing here. Clearing collar ties, pushing them back. Here we go back to another guillotine. I say get the fuck off me. Boom, getting frames off. So yeah, right there, he put that hand on my shoulder. I just bump it off. Nothing good's gonna happen by having his hand on my shoulder. He's just framing. So you can just chuck that off. And again, I'm not going like super hard here. He's a guest. I'm not trying to like be the mat enforcer or anything. Let's take a look at that. Alright, so right now, is that leg in or not? Alright, so we got one leg in, one leg out. So I'm in HQ right here. One leg in, one leg out. Right now his knee is pointing to his left. So that's a little bit vulnerable to smash pass. Not the best position. He's got it pretty good at 12 o'clock here. And look at here, I'm controlling his wrist. I'm not just fighting feet, I'm fighting hands. Guys, super important. If he can't grip you with his hands, he's not going to be able to pull himself deeper with any sort of efficiency. So here, because I got to the knee line, like I'm not reaching back and fighting his feet anymore. I am just controlling his hands. I'm constantly pinning hands to the floor and pinning hands to him. That's going to give me freedom of movement and some predictability. Boom. And right here, we get to our smash pass. I got the guard collapsed. I'm basically mounted over the legs. And right there, he gave me a response that gave me basically a trigger to say high step my leg over, and basically I start getting to the pass. One more time. And what did he do here? Yes, okay, so here he's trying to square up to me, but his legs are kind of straight. His knees aren't really framing me all that well. So watch my right leg here. Just gonna high step, boom. I had to give up some space to do that, but I immediately take it away. And now right here, I'm just gonna try to cook him a little bit, give him pressure. He's doing a good job framing. He actually, he stays strong here. And here he gets scarred back. I probably could have been a little more diligent, but Sometimes strategy. Like sometimes I just like to get people tired. Like people are easy to submit when they're tired. Even if you pass the guard, they might have some energy left. Not to say you should always do that, but sometimes it's a strategy in a longer match. So here we're on top. Told me about his neck, so I didn't want to do anything to tweak that. And more mounts, yada yada. It's not really what we're talking about. What happened there? Okay, side switch. Here I would have won guillotine, but you know. Alright, so here he's going to regard. Instantly, I'm focused on those legs again. I don't get stuck with tunnel vision just because I had dominant position. That doesn't mean anything right now. Once he gets his guard back, we're back in neutral right now. I have to refocus. You see how I back away there? I'm not trying to stay close to those legs. His legs are in the inside position. Fighting hands, pushing them back, clearing feet. Boom. Circle step out, back to side passing on the outside. Boom. Quick high step over the thigh. I don't expect a home run every little movement. I'm just getting a movement, moving, and looking for my opportunity. This was probably his best look right there. Didn't last long. What happened there? Okay. Trying to high step out. He does a nice little kick here. And let's just focus on one more thing here. Look at my right hand on his knee. That's preemptively trying to not only weaken his leg, but if he does put me down, then I am trying not to let his knee go above my knee. So there I'm pushing away. He gave up space, I just clear. Boom. Right there, he's coming up. See, I'll just grab a 2-on-1 here. Right now I got one leg inside. Bring that to the outside. My right leg should follow. Back to camp passing. Hand on the knee, hand on the thigh. He's framing here, but he has to be at full extension, but I can still punish his legs and turn his hips over here. It'll be hard to get chest to chest right off the bat, so I have to work the legs, keep them flat, and then I can start dealing with the frames. Knee cut, pass. And there again, I'm not going crazy there, kind of just letting him regard. Back to butterfly, 2 feet in, right there. Again, warning bells going off. Not a good spot for me. Left hand on the shin, one leg in, one leg out. Same thing, there's a lot of space here. I'm probably going to high step. This is my first time watching it. Yep. Boom. And right there, just a little bullfighter pass. He turns one way. I anticipate him turning into me. He's got to turn into me to regard. As he regards, I just spin his legs and catch him in transition. His movement helps me move him. Alright, my video got cut off. Now I got a trial version of the screen recorder. Alright, so back at it. This dude's a purple belt, by the way. I don't know if you guys knew that. And just like he's hyper focused on the leg locks here. You know, if I were him, I know maybe it's just something he's been working on, so he is hyper focused. He just wants to get better at it. But it's a little one-dimensional. If you know what to look for, you know, it's not really all that hard to deal with it. If I were him, you know, I'd be working more hand fighting. I'd be fighting the hands more before I try to get to the legs. And I think that's a big problem for him right now against me. I'd also be trying to work a little bit more wrestle ups, go high, go low, etc. Let's get back to it.